Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me today on the Divine Messages podcast. My name is Karina, and I am a psychic medium out of Calgary, Alberta. Today's episode is all about meeting people for a reason. Whether we want to admit it or not, everyone that is brought into our lives is for a reason. The purpose may be for them to teach us some sort of lesson, or for them to help us to grow and evolve as a soul. Both the positive and negative encounters that we experience are all for some sort of purpose. Even the toxic people, the ones that have made us suffer and have changed our lives forever. You may feel that they have scarred you for life, and perhaps they have, but they are the ones who have helped us to rise above from the ashes to be reborn. They taught us invaluable lessons that our soul needed to learn while living in this physical existence. And were the lessons hard? Yeah, they probably were. They were probably so bloody hard that some days you didn't know how you were going to survive. And you may have lost your faith along the way, and that's okay. We are all just trying to find our way back to the light. And there may be days, weeks, or even years of darkness, but these experiences were a necessary part of your soul's journey. I know this may be hard to understand, but before your soul came to this earth, you made a soul contract to go through these experiences in order to evolve. And even for myself, I sit back and think, what the heck did I sign up for? I chose to go through trauma after trauma? Well, yes, I sure did. And so do all souls learn the lessons that they sign up for? No, not always. Some people use their free will choices to bypass certain lessons, and they will have to come back another time to try to learn them again. So many people feel that they regret certain relationships that they stayed in, or they regret allowing a certain person into their life. But it's so important to remember that it all happened for a reason. Every single encounter was just another lesson. I now look back on my life and can truly see why certain people came into my journey. Those people who deeply hurt me, they taught me that I have this incredible strength within me that I never knew that I had. And when I was on the verge of losing faith in God, the universe, and mankind, an angel in disguise would show up in my life to help me restore it. There are always going to be new people that will present themselves to you, and you must accept that there is a higher purpose for it. Some will stay with you for the long haul, and some will only make a brief appearance. I think for me, one of the biggest lessons I've learned has been to trust my intuition at all times when meeting someone new. Over the last couple of years, this has really truly helped me to know if someone has pure intentions or not. Our intuition is one of the greatest gifts that we have been given, and sometimes when you meet someone, we are presented with red flags, and also sometimes those lessons are unavoidable because we must learn. But when I do look back on my life, I do admit that the red flags were there, but I just didn't listen to my gut. And those bad experiences really taught me to learn to trust my intuition these days. So for example, years ago, I had allowed someone into my life that even when I first met them, my skin crawled. I could barely look them in the eye. And this happened years before I opened up as a psychic medium, so I wasn't fully aware of what my intuition was at the time. All I knew was that I felt something was really off, and yet I still gave them a chance, and I was sorry in the end. And I can sit here and say I wish I had listened to those red flags. I wish I would have listened to that sick feeling in my stomach while I was in their presence. But I didn't, and I truly understand that I needed to go through that terrible experience because it taught me to really pay attention to my intuition going forward. It taught me that no matter what anyone else said, I always knew the truth in my soul, and I needed to just trust that. It also taught me that it was all part of my journey, and I was meant to meet that person. But what it really taught me was that I could overcome the pain inflicted by them. It taught me what true healing and strength really are about, and I learned that it is possible to rise above. So now let's go through some of the reasons of why people come into your life. The first reason is that some people come into your life, they're like a bridge. These are the ones that are not meant to last for the long haul. They come into your life to create a pathway, leading you to your next steps along your journey. They will show up at the exact time that your soul is ready to move ahead. You meet these people for the soul's purpose. I remember this one mom at my son's school who had moved in a couple of doors down from me, and we started to become friends, and one day she invited me over for a coffee. She had put a bunch of sweets out, and she sat down beside me, and she pushed an angel card deck towards me and said, "Here, pull some cards for me." And at that point, I didn't even really know what they were. But I did what she had asked, and the crazy thing was that I started to blurt out advice to her, and the cards were so accurate for what she was going through in her life, and I was in shock. I always knew that I was able to see ghosts and spirits, but I didn't realize that I could give such guided messages. It was as if I had opened up a channel that I didn't know existed. And from there, Spirit placed all of the right people along my path to guide me to where I am today as a medium. We had only been friends for about a year or two, but then she met a new romantic partner and we lost touch. And what I now know is that she was one of my bridges to get me to my next level on my journey. I'm sure even hearing that story, some of you can relate, and you may be even remembering people on your own journey that have led you to where you are today. The next type of people are considered your roadblocks. These are the people who come into your life to delay you. They are the ones that may prevent you from an accident or a mishap, or even help you meet an important person that is supposed to be in your life. So, for example, you may be at a party and all you're wanting to do is just go home, but you get caught up talking to someone, and the next thing you know, they introduce you to a friend who ends up offering you an incredible job. Or another example could be that you allowed a person to go in front of you at the grocery store, and then they have trouble with one of their items and someone needs to be called to adjust the price. Well, this has now made you late for work, but little did you know that they prevented you from a major accident had you left 5 minutes earlier. These people are the ones who really help to redirect you, and that is truly a gift. Another type are considered teachers. Those are the ones that are there to teach you your important soul lessons, and sometimes it is through the process of pain, but that pain helps you to grow and evolve. But the other teachers are the ones who are loving and inspiring. Those ones will guide you in the right direction of your soul's purpose. I have 3 very special healer friends in my life that have taught me so much, and I will be forever grateful. They have helped me to learn how to manage this ability, and they have done so with pure and unconditional love. And the last type, these are the ones that are your tribe. These are the ones that will stay with you for the long haul. They are there to cheer you on during your most successful times, but they are also there to hold your hand during the most difficult. They see you for who you truly are and love all of you, even the quirks and all. They also genuinely want to see you happy and successful, while others may feel jealous or competitive with you. These are the people that should be cherished because it's quite rare to have, and you may only have a few, but that enough is a gift. So you see, each and every single person that comes into your life is not by accident. They have been placed on your path for a very important reason, and not always are you going to understand those reasons, and that's okay. I think a lot of people waste too much time living with regret, and I really do understand because there are experiences and people we wish that we had never met. But you have to ask yourself if you would be where you are today had you not had those experiences. All of my hardships in my past led me to where I am today. All of those people who taught me such hard lessons are the ones who have allowed me to empathize with everyone and work as a healer. Each one of them has taught me that I have a strength within me that I never knew I had. And the past relationships I had before my husband, well, they taught me to know my worth. I don't see any of them as wasting my time. I see them as stepping stones that led me to my soulmate. They all taught me such important lessons, and I don't regret them. So it's time to start recognizing that everyone that has crossed your path was all part of your soul's journey. Those people that you thought were true friends and they are no longer a part of your life, they weren't meant to continue on your path with you. I love this one saying, people enter our life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. We only get disappointed if we try to force relationships beyond their purpose. So I want to leave you all with this today. Remember that people are either a bridge, a roadblock, a teacher, or someone who is part of your tribe. Look back on your life and take all of those lessons, the good and the bad, and know that they led you to where you are today. And if you aren't in a good place because you feel that they led you to unhappiness, choose to heal that pain and be proud of yourself for your strength, and then work on manifesting what you do actually want in this life. We are all going to continue to meet people along our journeys, And yes, some of the lessons will be difficult, but when you start to understand that they are there to teach you something, it will be much easier to move forward and not live in the past. None of us will ever stop learning these lessons. That is why we are here on earth, to live a human existence. We are here to grow and evolve as a soul. There will always be ups and downs, and none of us are ever given what we can't handle. And believe me, I know that is one tough thing to understand, but it really is the truth. So the next time you have a very difficult encounter with someone, ask your higher self what it is that needs to be learned. The journey isn't always an easy one, but it is the journey that your soul chose to live, and you can do this. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today on the Divine Messages podcast, and I will talk to you all next time. Please bear in mind that the perspectives and opinions represented in this podcast are based solely on the Divine Messages interpretations. We can in no way be held responsible for the actions of our followers.